Boom, boom, boom. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Techbud Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing day. My name is Ricky. For those that aren't familiar with who it is that I am, I have a little bit over now 200,000 subscribers. So I really do appreciate all the new members that have followed us and stuff like that. So this is our Sunday Stock Talk. So this is when we come together as a team, mainly my group for Techbud Solutions. So for those that aren't familiar with what that is, feel free to check it out. It's the third link in the description. It's a free Facebook group. We have a little bit over 108,000 members worldwide. We're one of the fastest growing private trading communities out there. And if you've ever wanted to surround yourself with like-minded individuals, again, it's free. And we talk about and cover a bunch of basics and fundamentals of how to get started when it comes down to investing in the stock market. We do not tell you where to buy. We do not tell you where to sell. We're here just to simply share our best practices and our mistakes in an effort to guide you in the right direction. So what's going on, guys? So as you guys can see, there's a bunch of people that are tuning in live right now. I'm gonna put on some music, right? We're gonna put on some music, and I want everyone to state where it is that you are from. So I am myself, right, from Gilbert, Arizona. Oh, I'm not from Gilbert, Arizona. I'm originally from Orange County, California. But as of right now, I'm from Gilbert, Arizona. So let's see how many people can share where they're from. So okay, Google, play. Here we go. What do you guys think about Drake's new album? Oh, hey, there we go. What's up? I'm trying to read. Oh my goodness. It's like the Matrix. Can't see anything. There we go. Oh, as you guys can see, this is what makes us so great. We're a team. We're here to have fun. We're here to talk about, what has led to our success and also about our mistakes as well. So I hope that you guys are excited for this week because, again, new week, new opportunity. So even if last week wasn't the best week, we'll make sure that we make it the best. We'll make this week the best week ever, right? So, okay, Google, pause. There we go. So I'm going to cover some very basics because I know that we have a lot of new people that are tuned in. So I'm trying to provide a little bit more structure with this specific video. I do want to let you guys know that for all those that we're looking to enroll in the Learn, Plan, Profit lesson library and we're waiting for a huge discount, I would encourage you to stay tuned to the very end of the video just because I have a small little announcement that I'm going to make. And then for all those that are just getting started, we are kickstarting the stock market growth challenge tomorrow. So it's going to be the first day, and we are actually going to implement. I have to provide you guys a quick little update, but for all those that are part of Learn, Plan, Profit, you'll have access to this new application that myself and our partners created and have been working on. So yeah, that's the easiest way to put it. You're going to be able to track your trades a little bit easier. It's going to be almost integrated with your brokerage, and we're super excited to again create free and simple platforms that make it a little bit easier for you to consistently make profits as well as be able to track your trades and assist you in being a part of your success. So I live in the fridge right now, Ricky, behind your water bottles. Actually, I don't keep my water bottles in the fridge. I usually just keep them in the pantry. I like them room temperature. So but yeah, so this is a Sunday Stock Talk. So again, if you guys have don't have like a whiteboard, I know that some of you might not have one, but some tips for success, I would encourage you, even if you could get like a piece of paper and hang it like right next to where it is that you trade. So tips for success for this week, based on my experience last week I covered a little bit under $2,500 profit. $2,500 to $3,000 is my weekly goal, right? The week prior to that, I covered a little bit under $4,000 profit. So altogether, the month of June was definitely very profitable. Now towards July, I want to focus a little bit more on consistency, focusing on quality trades and not over trading. And I know that's going to really act as a catalyst for my success in that stock market growth challenge. So for others that are just getting started, these are just some simple tips. It doesn't mean that you have to actually follow any of them. If you don't feel comfortable with it, again, please don't do it. Okay, so tips for this week. So don't overtrade. And what I mean by that is I want to make sure that I focus on good quality picks. So what I mean by that is that last week, something that I found myself doing is anytime that I saw even a 1% margin, I took a position. Obviously, I'm not under the PDT rule, so I could day trade as much as I wanted to. But again, I talked about it on Friday on how I could have simply taken one position this entire week, and I would have ended up more green than I did this last week without having to trade every single day. It would have just been one position that would have lasted about 2 to 3 days, right, with you guys. So so my goal this week is to only take positions that offer a 3% or greater profit margin. Very simple, kind of just criteria to have, right, before taking a position. And again, this is my preference. Does not mean that you actually have to follow any of this, right? Focus on 3 trades max this week. So again, making sure that we limit. So this is for myself. Focus max on 3 trades. I would encourage new traders to focus on 1 to 2 trades for the entire week. Right? The reason why is that would instill quality, focusing on quality and being very picky with what you choose to invest in. Just picture this. So if you could only invest, right, in 20 stocks for the next 10, 15 years, right? You want to make sure that you pick the best 20 stocks, and you're going to most likely invest a little bit more time to do your own due diligence to ensure that those are the best stocks you can ever trade. So again, if you're just getting started, maybe trading is, as of right now, and investing real money is not something that you're going to want to do. Dedicate time to understand patterns first, and then make the transition to paper trading. And then when you prove to yourself that you can grow your account, then this would make sense. So focus on 3 trades. That's going to be my goal, right? Avoid downward patterns. Very simple to identify that. You can go on the 20-day 1-hour chart. You can go on the 180-day 4-hour chart, and very simple. If it's showing signs of a descending pattern or a decay, then maybe it's not going to be the best position to take. Again, especially if you're just getting started. I know a lot of well-versed traders are comfortable with taking downward patterns. We do it all the time. But if you're just getting started, again, a huge area of opportunity is not investing in anything that's decaying or downtrending. Just a quick little tip, right? And then have fun and make money, right? And let's make some money. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about when it comes down to kind of the structure. And again, I did that because I know we have a lot of new traders that are just getting started. So are we starting the challenge on Monday? Yep, we're definitely starting the challenge on Monday. So as of tomorrow, we are going to be starting the stock market challenge. It's almost a perfect time, right? We have a bunch of new people joining us from that video that was just shared, right? And I want to make sure that we have the proper structure. For those that ever asked the question, I made a video, I think it was yesterday. I talked a little bit more about myself and like the course and what it is that I do with the course group. I want to let you guys know that first of all, I offer the free group Techbud Solutions, and I have over 1,000 videos on YouTube. You can simply, and you don't even have to learn for myself. I mean, there's a bunch of free content out there. You can 100%. Just like myself, I was self-taught and I learned from videos, right? I made mistakes, and the overall time that it took for me to actually understand how to invest in the stock market it was just a little bit longer, right? Because I didn't have that structure. For those that when time is money and you want to work with me on a closer basis because you could see the catalyst of success I can have on certain traders, then great. But don't think that my course is the only option. I'm completely I love to encourage people to, if they don't see value in the course or you are not in the right position to do it, then simply don't do it, right? We have a bunch of free content out there. And that's why I upload videos every day to share what it is that I'm doing. So I hope that that's okay with you, and I hope that that was made clear as well. That's why we're doing all this. That's what the whole point of Techbud Solutions is. So, and I also wanted to let you guys know that for a lot of you guys are tuning in from that older video, right? From the Jubilee video. And there was the other individual, right, that was shared his story and how much it is that he makes, right, in that video. I actually got in contact with him, and he's actually going to be a part of Learn, Plan, Profit, and I'm actually going to meet up with him. I think we have it scheduled for this week. I'm going to be flying out to California, and I'm super excited to be working with him. He's super motivated, and I really hope that I can act as a positive catalyst for his success. He's such a nice guy, so full of energy, so full of life. And it's a beautiful thing that I'm able to network now with an individual that we kind of shared our stories together. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys, and yeah, that's it. So I'm sorry that I'm going on a tangent. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to break down. I already know the 2 stocks that I'm going to. There's 3 stocks, so 2 stocks that I'm watching to actively take a position, and what it is that I'm waiting for. And then the last one is one that is showing signs of a pending reversal. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. It's not a good buy right now. It's in the good buy range, but it has not confirmed an uptrend. So after that, then I will, what's it called? start to do technical analysis based on all of your guys' suggestions. So again, none of the stocks that I'm talking about right now are any suggestions in any way. We have 3 rules within Techbud Solutions. You should never invest based on other people's opinion. You should never invest in what you don't understand, and you should always have a plan when investing. This is me simply sharing what I see value in for this week, and I'm going to talk about my entire thought process again. So I hope that you guys enjoy. Let's actually, I'll see if I can make it like this. Yikes. All right, here we go. Sorry about that, team. Austin, come on, man. You read my mind. So Austin Hunter, I'm super excited for you this week, Austin. He's actually going to be quitting his job. He's one of our very active traders within Learn, Plan, Profit. It's a true blessing to have you as a part of the team. Also, I think I did see Don in here. What's going on, Don? Don's also a experienced or advanced trader within Learn, Plan, Profit, and it's obviously a blessing to have you as a part of the team as well. What's going on, Laura? Yeah, you guys already know what it is that I'm talking about. Like, I almost do the same thing every single time, every single week. If you guys go week after week, month after month, and see what it is that I trade, I'm extremely consistent with what I see value in and the patterns, and they make sense to me. And some people like that, some people don't. If you don't like my trading style, you don't have to follow it, right? And that's why there's so many people out there on YouTube that share their investing style. Just make sure that you prove it, that they showcase that they can actually, do it right. And if you see value in them, then I wish you the best of luck. But let's go ahead and talk about this. So this is /NG. So this is a natural gas future. And this isn't a stock that I'm looking to invest in, but more of UGAS. So UGAS is one that I've traded multiple times before, and I can show you guys the 180-day analysis. It was showing signs of an uptrend pattern. Overall, this SMA indicator has been acting as a support. So what I mean by that, a support is an area, a psychological area where it normally bounces at. So this is like around this area. So again, I don't really look at, so to visualize this, don't look at like the candles and stuff like that. All I look for are, so 2 things, right? I want to make sure that I understand the pattern. So 3 things. I want to make sure that I understand the pattern of what I'm investing in. With UGAS, although it's showing signs of an uptrend, it offers a very horizontal pattern, right? So usually is support around 62, meaning that it normally bounces. Do you see this? Once, twice, 3 times. And again, these are all, each bar is a day. So each bar is 8 hours, right? So it normally bounces at around this area, and it normally peaks out at around this area. That's why you see these lines here, right? I drew those lines. This is my support line. This is my resistance line. This range, right, from 62, let's do this. This range from 62 to 68 is 9.44%. That's huge, right? If you guys have not watched that video that I've uploaded on YouTube, we have this video that I did, the 4 stages of where I think you should be able to identify of where it is that you are with your investing kind of like position, right? Are you someone that should be aiming for 1 to 2%? Are you someone that should be aiming for 2 to 3% a week, or someone that should be aiming for 10% plus? So be sure to watch out for that video. It's the 4 stages. But just put 4 stages and then Ricky Gutierrez in the YouTube search bar, and then that video will pop up. But easiest way for me to put it is I look to identify the pattern. I look to understand that I'm getting a good deal. That's one of the most important parts for me. And that the last thing is the confirmation of the uptrend. I like to make sure that I focus a lot on the direction of whatever it is that I'm investing in. And what I mean by that is, this is a perfect example. So UGAS, as of right now, even on this 180-day chart, as of right now, it's a horizontal pattern, right? So the number of days, so this is I'm going to do a 20-day analysis now. So within the past 20 days, I'll even do a 30-day analysis. Let's do that. Can you guys hear me okay? I hope that you guys can hear me okay. So within the past, 30 days, we could see the low points. These are not 30 days. That's weird. All right. So you can see the low points here around $62 and the high points around 68, right? We identified that it's done this very consistently. That's something that consistency is key to me, and I really like that. So it's easy for me to identify the low points and high points. So with that understanding, I can see that, okay, we're approaching this good deal territory. So normally where it bounces at. One of the most important parts, and I'm sharing this based on my experience, one of the most important parts of when it comes down to investing in horizontal patterns, ascending uptrend patterns, is confirmation of whatever pattern you first identified. The pattern that I'm identifying is that this is normally the support level around 62 and 63. So what that means is that it normally bounces at around this area. So to wait for a confirmation of that pattern would be like, as of right now, there's no indication of a bounce. Yes, it's holding pretty well above $63. That's great. It's approaching that good deal range. But when it comes down to the actual, is it a good buy as of right now? Like, I would say no, and the reason why is it's in good buy territory, but it has not confirmed that uptrend. Easiest way for me to put it. And this patience, that patience factor will decide, right? That'll be the difference between those that experience success in the stock market and those that don't. Just that patience factor of waiting for the confirmation. Yes, I know we run the risk of, let's say it sells off and it sells off to $63 like it did last week, right? We called it out perfectly. You guys can go back to one of my videos on Monday and Tuesday. And it sold off, it bounced, and then it consolidated for about 2 days, right? It pushed up, pulled back, consolidated, did a double bottom, and then pushed right back up above this EMA. So what I like to wait for is for the confirmation and the break above this EMA line. So one thing that I talk about all the time is that there's 3 stages in a reversal. And what I mean by that is, as of right now, as it's approaching the good deal territory, as of right now, it is close and near to that support, but there is no confirmation of that reversal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my alert. I'm going to set my alert for the break above $65. And then after I get that confirmation, then that is when I'm going to, revisit you guys and see if it's something that, is still relevant, right? Give me one quick second, guys. I'm live. I apologize about that. All right. So do you not expect it to bounce off the SMA? I 100%, based on previous patterns, expect that. But as of right now, there is no confirmation. So do you guys see how he's talking about the SMA indicator on the 180-day analysis? And as of right now, there is no confirmation of a bounce. It's still selling off. So when do you know when something is reversing? When it's no longer making lower lows and it's making higher highs. The reason I'm putting so much emphasis on this is because I don't want anyone to take a position. Forget about you guys, but this idea and this pattern, no one to take a position before the confirmation of whatever pattern you first identified is verified, right? And just like that, we've identified, like, okay, it's approaching a potential support. It might bounce here. We could be on high alert. We can set our alerts, right? And if it bounces, great, we'll be able to take action. But if it doesn't, great, because we never took that position. Does that make sense? So even from this range of $64, let's say even 65, from $65 to about 68, that's 4.54%. That meets my criteria. It's a pattern that I understand, and I think that I'm getting a good deal. So it makes sense for me in that sense. So when do you know when something is trending up so hard? Ricky sells his position. Yeah, so something that I'm known for is for covering profits too early. So what I mean by that is I am very conservative, right? So although a lot of people might be able to see this pattern for you guys and be like, okay, well, sometimes it has hit highs of 70, it has hit highs of 72. I'm all about covering profits. And we have this saying within Techbud Solutions and Learn Plan Profit that no one goes broke by covering profits, right? So people lose money because they get greedy or they don't understand what they're investing in. But if you're up and you understand that it's at an area where it normally peaks out at, why not lock in profits? If it continues to uptrend, great. You can always revisit the idea of getting back in, but it is much more important to me in my career as an investor to focus on consistency. And yes, a lot of times I do miss out on some margin of profit, but in the big picture, I am much more consistently profitable than a lot of other investors. Does that make sense? So it's not just thinking about my current position as of right now and how that's going to impact me and being greedy in that sense, but it's focusing on long-term growth and making sure that I continuously grow my account and that I don't, discourage myself, especially if you're just getting started. And you will make mistakes. And that's why I always encourage new traders to start paper trading. Again, it does not cost you one penny. You can learn from YouTube videos. You can test it. The only cost that you will incur to start paper trading is your time. And I know that is extremely valuable, and I want to thank you all for your time. But it's just, do you feel like investing time into learning this is something that can better your future? If so, great. It doesn't cost you anything. If not, 100%. Pursue a market that you are extremely passionate about, right? Hey, what's going on, man? Thank you again. So free trading in EU. Okay, so I made a video about paper trading and stuff like that, or how to get started, how to start investing in the stock market for free. Be sure to use search that on the YouTube search bar. I just made it like a couple days ago. Yeah, so you can use a trailing stop loss. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everyone has their own investing style. I'm just telling you mine. I don't really focus too much on stop losses. I focus more on overall patterns. And if I see that there's a break of pattern, then I'll cut losses, right? So how do I know when there's a break of pattern? That's a very common question that I get. When the first, if I buy because it bounced here at the SMA line and it pushes up, it breaks above 65, I buy, and then it pulls back a little bit. I'm not going to cut losses until, let's say, if all of a sudden it starts to sell off and bleeds below this SMA line and it no longer is a support and it continues to sell off and goes below 62, that's a break of pattern. That's something that it has not done before. And because of that, it would make sense on when the pattern that I first saw value in is no longer relevant, then I'm going to cut losses. But there is a difference from a pullback and there's a difference from a break of pattern. And that is something that you will become more familiar with as you begin to invest. And that is why I think paper trading and simulation trading is so effective for new traders. And again, I'm going to continue to say that and bug you guys until, I know people just want to jump into it and start making money. I'm telling you, the odds are not in your favor. 95 to 90% of people lose money. And that is why I'm setting these set precautions so you don't have to lose any money, right? And I hope that you guys understand that. So Austin, just like Austin saying, is like managing risk is a way more important than making huge gains. 100%. It's like, playing defense. The only way that you're going to be able to stay green is if you could manage how much money you lose, right? If you could always manage and keep your losses smaller than your profits, you'll stay green. It might not be the most, the most aggressive, growth, but you'll stay green. And that's still something that 90 to 95% of the people in the stock market can't do. And again, it's just having the proper steps and procedures. So 100%. And you'll see this. There's a bunch of people that invest in the stock market. They sometimes have huge days, 20 to 30% growth days, but they, first of all, they don't understand what happened. They just got lucky, which I explained that in last week's Sunday Stock Talk. And then the other thing is that, if you don't understand what you're doing, you just get lucky. It's not a market that you're going to get lucky for a very long period of time. So with that being said, why not just actually learn how to do this rather than hope to get lucky? Because if you get lucky once, you'll probably not get lucky 3-5 times, and then you'll give back all your profits, and then you'll probably end up in the red as well. So again, and this is something that a lot of you guys are like, that's me. And trust me, that was me as well. I'm telling you that. I'm telling you based on experience that you just have to prove it to yourself that you can grow your account, and why not do it with no monetary risk? So I know, right, Lito? Yeah, we're a little bit over 204,000 subscribers. Truly blessed. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. Me and my team have been trying to catch up on emails, catch up on messages and stuff like that. If you guys direct message me via Discord, if you're part of Techbud Solutions and Learn Plan Profit, that's me. That's the best way to get in contact with me for any investing questions. I do want to let you guys know that there are fake accounts of me. I never ask for any personal information. I only offer the Learn Plan Profit lesson library and Filipinos course. I never reach out to people to sell it, right? And I have one account that has over 30,000 followers on Instagram. Please, 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 if you get a message on Facebook that tells you that I will invest for you and stuff like that, that is fake. It's a fake account. I don't invest for anyone. I never have. I never will. I don't tell people where to buy or where to sell. So again, anytime that you see anything like that, please report it and then share it in our Facebook group so our group can be aware. And I really do appreciate, again, all the time it is that you guys spend with us. So all right. Of course, of course. All right, perfect. And then one more. Man, I know I'm taking a little bit longer, but again, I'm trying to focus on quality. So let's just focus on quality. So again, one thing that I'm going to watch this week is you guys. So pretty much I'm going to break down the, what's it called? The stock right now. So right now we see somewhat of a support around $64. So this can be ticker symbol UGAS, right? Support. I see it at $64. And then resistance, I see it at $68, obviously, right? Stop loss, or when there would be a break of pattern, is when it would break below. I'll give it like 63, because 62 would be where the previous support is at. So I'll revisit potentially cutting losses if it breaks below 62, right? So again, this is just my plan, not something that you have to follow. So stop loss at 62, right? And then why it has potential. It's a horizontal pattern. It's still big picture showing signs of an ascending uptrend pattern. And yeah, so one thing that I do want to focus on. So I've spent 1 week already learning about the stock market, and I'd rather learn from my mistakes, from making mistakes on the paper money than paying check money. Yeah, I agree, 100%. Yeah, great advice. Thank you. /NG. So /NG. This is actually something. So this natural gas future for natural gas. Obviously, UGAS is a natural gas ETF. For all those that are part of the Learn, Plan, Profit lesson library, I have an ETF section. So please complete the entire course before asking a bunch of questions about what it is, because I do cover it in that ETF section. I talk about how I leverage and understand like these series of futures and how they correlate over to ETFs, which is like my main focus and almost like really what I'm known for when it comes down to trading these ETFs. So one thing that I see is that it continued to sell off. We could go on the 1 day 1 minute chart. Actually, what I wanted to show you guys was on the 5 day 5 minute chart. This is something that based on the close on Friday, right? As of right now on Sunday, it opened up again. This is a future, right? So it's not a stock. Opened up and continued to sell off. So it's still showing signs of a descending pattern. How do we know it's showing signs of a descending pattern? It's trading in between the middle and top VWAP. Again, I do have a video on YouTube showing you how to set up your VWAP indicator, as well as I do have one in the Learn, Plan, Profit lesson library. If you have a brokerage that's not TD Ameritrade, I do not know how to set up a VWAP indicator because I know not every brokerage offers that. Now, again, looking at the 180-day analysis, right? Not even that, the 20-day analysis, we could see that, again, this is the similar, you could almost see that the pattern is almost very similar to UGAS, as you can see that, again, it's approaching this area around 2.90 to 2.88 where it normally bounces at. Billy Bob. What a waste of time. I do appreciate you tuning in, Billy Bob, and not having anything better to do. All right, so again, being able to identify when something is at a low point, so around 2.88 to 2.90, and then when something is more at a sell territory, which is right around $3, right? With that being said, what's going on, Jake? Hope you're having a good day. Reese, oh, you guys don't have to donate. I appreciate it, but yeah, you guys don't have to donate it. I do this for fun. But yeah, so this is pretty much the breakdown, and again, I'm just going to show you guys my plan that I just talked about. So when it comes down to you guys, support at 64, resistance at 68, and then the stop loss and break of pattern would be right around 62. And again, I'm going to follow up with that on Monday. So for all those that are part of Learn, Plan, Profit, you'll have access to watching me trade live, right, at market open. So tomorrow, market opens Pacific Standard Time at 6:30. And I'll be live. So I'll be live. I'll post the link in the announcement section. You guys can all tune in live with me. We'll talk about what I see value in, see if I take a position, if I get the confirmation, and if so, great. And then I'll make a follow-up video that I share on YouTube, recapping on my day, if I take a position or not, and showing you my profits or my losses. So yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So the next one is WTI. So this is a ticker that I traded pretty much all week last week. And on this 180-day analysis, as you guys can see, this is more of an ascending uptrend pattern. So what I mean by that is it continues to make higher highs, right? And you can see it's very easy to, when you look at the 180-day chart, it's very easy to identify something that's actively trending up. So as long as you're able to understand that, great. The thing that I find very attractive about WTI is that it does a very good job because when it's close to the SMA indicator, it does a very good job indicating when it's in good buy territory and good sell territory, right? So within the past couple of days, it's been holding above this EMA line. It did pull back very quickly before about 1 or 2 days to the support around $6.50. It pushed right back up. There is a slight resistance at 750. So one thing that I would like to see for WTI is one of two things, right? Because anything can happen, right? I like that it's showing signs of an uptrend pattern, but who knows, right? WTI can 100% sell off and bleed all the way down here, and I don't want to be a part of that, right? So what I want to do is I want to see if it continues to hold above this SMA line, and if it could continue to uptrend, leading up to not only hitting $7.50, but actually going to $8 to $8.50 to $9. Based on previous patterns, it's something that it does pretty often. It sells off, bounces at around the SMA line, pushes up, reaches a peak, sells off, consolidates, again, confirms an uptrend, pushes up, reaches a peak, sells off, consolidates, and again pushes up, right? So now we're waiting for that push up. I would really like to see it break above $7.50. That would be more of a proper indication of an uptrend pattern, and as of right now, it is showing signs of an uptrend pattern, and it's holding above the SMA line. I do find that to be attractive, and that's why I'm talking about it. But if it breaks below the SMA line, I'm going to remove it from my active watch list. And if it struggles to, again, not break above $7.50 due to the margin that it has to offer, at a certain point, it's going to reach a point where it's just going to start to consolidate. And I don't find that to be very attractive, and the risk is going to be a little bit higher. If it doesn't continue to push up and break above 750, then I'll, again, probably remove it just due to opportunity cost. It's not actively trending up as aggressive as I would like it to. So then I would focus a little bit more of my time into something that meets a little bit more of my criteria. So, yeah. Oh, what's going on, Michelle? But yeah, all my alerts are here, as you guys can see. So my pattern for this one is going to pretty much be the support. As of right now, I'm going to consider the SMA indicator. So this is for a ticker symbol WTI. So my support / resistance, support would be right around $7. Resistance would be right around 750, right? That's a little bit under 10%. And then, again, that's me being a little bit conservative, but you guys can definitely aim for something I get higher if you guys want to. Again, I like staying and focusing on conservative patterns. So now when it comes down to the overall direction, then my stop loss would be when it breaks below that $7 price point. That's when I would revisit it and see if it's the one that shows signs of an uptrend pattern. And then why do I see value in it? It's an ascending uptrend pattern, which is something that I definitely do see value. And then I am going to talk about one last thing, and that is the one that is not actively trending up, but I find to be in good range territory, so a good buy territory, or good deal territory. That's a better that's a better like explanation for what this is. Why do I find USLV to be in good buy territory? It has to do with the idea of how oversold it is. It's approaching a previous support that it's bounced at before, and now I just have to wait for the confirmation. It has all this range to cover. I see more of a common resistance right around $10.50. Yes, sometimes it has hit highs of $11.50. I don't really find that to be, like very realistic. It's only done it very few times out of, as it's pushed up there. So because of that, I'm going to make sure that I keep it conservative. There's this margin that I see value in from $9.50 to $10.50. It offers 10.5%. That's pretty much my weekly goal, 10 to 15% growth on a weekly basis. And I have all this time for it to wait and confirm this uptrend. So it is one that I have my alert set up on. I want it to stop making lower lows and start making higher highs. And I need to wait for the confirmation for that. I just wanted to talk about it to expose you guys to a stock that I saw value in because of the good deal range, but that is not actively trending up as of right now. So yeah. So what platform? For confirmation. Okay. That's hilarious. Oh, thank you, Melissa. All right. So now that's pretty much it. I think we are good to then talk about anything it is that you guys see value in. Real quick, LABU is one that I did see potential for it to push up just because it's around the SMA indicator, but we'll have to follow up with that. I like the MACD, I like the RSI, but yeah, holy moly, you guys need to take it easy. And again, please make sure that your callouts are ones that are actively trending up and that are not making lower lows. If I see that it's a descending pattern, just due to our new audience being very new, I don't want to talk about anything that's descending, so I just won't even break it down. So I do apologize if that's offensive to you, but again, I just want to focus on whatever is actively trending up or horizontal patterns. And if so, just make sure that if you want your stock to be broken down by me, I'll do 15 callouts. I'll try to do them pretty quickly. And again, I'm not going to get through all of them. If you have any more questions, you guys can send me your stock pick in the Discord chat and direct message me there. I would love to give you my own 2 cents. It's what I'm going to invest the rest of my night to. So I'm just going to respond to Discord messages the entire night. So, and again, thank you guys again. And I'm going to thank you guys again for tuning in for this chat. So, all right. So, Long Win, what's going on? LPX, let's go ahead and break it down. LPX, how are you doing? So LPX, okay, it's definitely in goodbye territory. I could see that it probably has low volume. Okay, so Louisiana Pack Corp. The reason that I could see this to be kind of in good deal territory is I'm trying to identify a pattern, right? You could see that normally, based on previous patterns, it bounces at around this area, $27, and its resistance is normally around, I would say, I'm just going to be conservative. I'm going to say 30, right? Instead of 30.50, no reason to have to be super risky, just 30, right? Support here right around $27 to resistance at 30. That margin of profit is 11%. As of right now, it did try to show signs of a confirmation, if I'm not mistaken, on Friday. I really like that. It's no longer, as you guys can see here, it started selling off. It was holding below this, EMA line, which is showing signs of a downward pattern. It approached this good deal range, step 2, right? And then step 3 is now wait for the confirmation. On Friday, it pushed up and then it pulled back. Now what we want to see is for it to start making higher highs. And if you could see, if you look very closely, as it was, it made its lowest point here, it started making higher lows ever since then and higher highs. So you could see this ascending uptrend pattern with, it made its lower low, pushed up, pulled back, did not go as low as it did before. That's attractive. It's no longer bleeding like it was before. And then it pushes up, breaks above the EMA line, pulls back, and it held above that $27 price point as of right now. So I actually really like this call out, and this is what we'd like to focus on. So what I'm going to do is, due to the pending reversal potential, I'm going to put it in my watch list and then kind of go from there. So LPX, I'm going to set my alert for the break above 27.50. I'll follow up with it. It does not mean that I'm not going to actually take a position on it. It just means that it's one that I potentially see value in. I want to see how it plays out and performs this week. And if I see value in it, great. I'll announce it to the group. And if I don't, then I don't, right? And if it continues to sell off, then good thing I am patient and I didn't take a position. So I'm also going to set my alert if it ends up bleeding. So this is, we're good here. So I'm actually going to write this down because we talked about it and I see value in it. So alrighty. And again, be sure to copy your call out because I'm not going to be able to go through all of them. All right. Holy moly. PHM. What's going on, Dan? So, okay, we've done a breakdown on this one before. Approach support area right around $28. And resistance would be, I'm going to be really conservative. I'm going to go with $30 again, just because I know it peaks out here multiple times. It's been showing signs of it making higher highs, so I do see that it does have potential to push up even higher. I'm going to take a step back and look at the 1 year analysis. Okay, I like that. And I'm going to put the resistance here back again at $30. Margin of profit, if we continue to hold above the EMA indicator, which is something that's going to be essential for me, I needed to hold above the EMA indicator, which is this blue line, and for it to move up to $30, right? So within this range, it offers about 3.4%, right? That's me being very conservative. It makes sense. It's kind of a horizontal pattern with it making higher highs. So, and the SMA indicator is right around there, so it makes sense on why I potentially would want to sell there. And if it continues to push up, then I could always visit the idea of getting back in, right? So I would find this to be a potential good buy if it continues to uptrend at around $29. I would visit the idea of selling at around 30 as it approaches that resistance. And if it falls below the EMA line as it's moving up, then that would indicate a downward pattern. When the candles are below this EMA line, it indicates a downward pattern, and when the candles are above, the EMA line, indicates an uptrend pattern. Very simple, right? So I'm going to wait for the candles to break above. I'm going to wait for it to break above $29, and then I'm going to sell at around $30 as that is more of a resistance. So another great call out, and I'll write this one down as well. thank you again, Dan, for that call out and for investing your time to join the Sunday Stock Talk. So, okay. I get why this one's being called out. So on the 1 year chart, it's showing signs of an ascending uptrend pattern. Let's see this. MACD indicator starting to curve back in. RSI is in more of oversell territory, oversold territory. I'm making up my own words now. We could see that the reason that I don't find this to be as attractive is because I could see a very low point here, but I can also see where it normally peaks out at. Do you guys see where it, the reason this is why I really like looking at the 180-day 4-hour chart because I could identify where it normally peaks out at, so good sell price points, and it's around $72 to $74. So it would make sense on why it would reverse here. Actually, I already have an alert here, so let's set the alert for the break above 70. I'll set another one for the break above 71. And then from that point forward, from 71 to 74 is 4.17%, or a little bit over 4%. So like the call out, I do see it to be a little bit more overbought, but if it confirms that uptrend and you feel comfortable and you feel like you understand the pattern, just make sure that you have a good head on your shoulder when it comes down to being able to cut losses. If there's a breakout pattern, then great. I definitely do see why you're calling it out. So Ricky, do you use trade ideas? No, I do not. All right, this was called out by, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Okay, so it's an ascending uptrend pattern. It's been making higher highs. This is a little bit more difficult for people to trade because I feel like people have a little bit of a more difficult time to understand when is it a good time to sell. I try to keep it very, it continues to make higher highs, and that's great and all. Again, me being very conservative. This is my style, does not mean that you have to follow it, but what I take into consideration is like, great, it's an ascending uptrend pattern, great. It can continue to make higher highs. I don't really care too much about that. I care more about like, okay, where it hasn't peaked out before based on previous patterns, and I would like to sell at that price point. I like to take risks, but I also like to be and lock in profits, right? So it's showing signs of a potential reversal. It's starting to consolidate right around the SMA line. As we can see, it does this multiple times here, 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 here. So it gives you an idea of when it's potentially a good deal, right? When it's about to reverse. So one thing that we're seeing here is that it's still getting rejected. It barely broke above the EMA line and the direction. So one thing that I asked those that are part of Learn, Plan, Profit and that we covered in the course is, if you were to put an arrow at the end of the EMA line, what direction would it be going? And as of right now, it's still going down. So wouldn't it make more sense to wait for the EMA line to be pointing more up? Because if you want your account to grow, then you want the pattern to indicate an uptrend pattern, right? So it makes sense. Like if I were to put an arrow right here when it was about to reverse, it would make sense. It's going up, right? It's going up. It's going up. It's going up. And it doesn't mean 100% that it's going to always go up. It just you're waiting for whatever stock you're planning to invest in to meet more criteria, so you could focus more on focusing on good quality trades. Does that make sense? So I like this call out. I'm going to set my alert. It looks like it peaked out last time right around $63. I'm going to put one at $63.50. I want it to make higher highs. And then from $63.50 to the overall resistance right around, based on previous patterns, 67.60 and stuff like that. I'm going to be a little bit more conservative and go to 67 flat. That's 5.6%. That's definitely not bad. Do I think that it's going to be the best stock to invest in as of right now? No, and the reason why is because it's still not confirming the uptrend. It might confirm it, and if it does confirm it very aggressively on Monday or Tuesday, great, but it's going to take time, and you're going to need to be very patient, and that's why I would add this one. That's why I have different watch lists, and this is something that I've talked about in the Learn, Plan, Profit lesson I read, to have separate watch lists for stocks in separate stages. I have my active watch list, which is a set list of stocks that I'm watching that week. My pending reversals are stocks that are potentially reversing soon. And then my general watch list, which is my pull-up stocks, everything, right? Doesn't mean that I see value in it. Just means like once a week, I do a technical analysis on all of them, and then I filter them into the other sub watch list. So thank you again for that call out. So Forex trading. So Justo Show, what's going on? So you're calling out ticker symbol VALE. I like it. Okay, horizontal pattern showing signs again of a overall reversal. Resistance right around $14. Support right around 12.50. You can see that it tried to reverse, and it's done this multiple times and continues to sell off. So let's be very patient. It pushed up, it pulled back. Let's make sure that we don't get caught, and then it continues to sell off. So this is why I already have my alert set here. I want it to break and start making higher highs. So one thing that, again, just to explain myself, it pushed up, it pulled back, and it's back at the EMA line. I want it to confirm that it's going to continue to push up and not just hit $13, but continue to, move up, right? To continue to show signs of an active uptrend. And how do you know when it's doing that? When it continues to break resistance levels and it continues to make higher highs, and when it pulls back, it doesn't go as low as it was before. So that's an ascending uptrend pattern, and I still don't have that confirmation with this one. So VALE is one that I do have in my pending reversal. Yeah, so thank you again for the friendly reminder. Justo Show. I don't know your name, but it might be Justin, right? JDSC, what's going on, Logan? Why are you showing one of my favorite stocks right now? Just kidding. So JDST, this is actually one that I talked about talked about to my Learn Plan Profit group and Techbud Solutions. And the reason why is if you guys look at this 20-day analysis, it might be a little bit difficult for you guys to see. But even if we go to the 180-day analysis, let's first focus on that, right? So it's doing a very good job holding above this SMA line that normally acts as a support. And it's been showing signs of it making higher highs. That's great, right? It's showing signs of it being in good buy territory. I would like to wait for more of a confirmation of it moving up. So I have a couple alerts set here. One thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to set alert for when it breaks above $51, and then I'm going to set an alert for when it breaks above like 53, right? So we'll make an alert go there. And also, if all of a sudden it starts to sell off, I want to make sure that I'm alerted because JDST has an inverse ETF called JNUG that we trade very often as well. So when one goes up, the other one goes down. So if we see that there's a breakup pattern for JDST and it starts to sell off, then that would mean that I want to be alerted, focus then my attention to JNUG, as that one is most likely going to be moving up. So yeah, and what I wanted to also talk about is /GC is the future for gold, and JDST and JNUG are gold-based ETFs. One thing that I wanted to talk about is that, it's been selling off pretty aggressively, right? It's been showing signs of a downward pattern. It's been getting rejected by this SMA line. That's great, but it's reaching a low point where it's almost about time for it to reverse. And if this thing starts to move up based on previous patterns, that means that then JNUG is going to start to trend up and that JDST will then begin to sell off. So just a friendly reminder that so GC, the overall gold future itself, is very oversold right now. So I would be on high alert for a potential reversal. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen. It just means that I just wanted to make it aware to you guys and hope that makes sense. So Michael, I keep seeing your call outs. So CPG, thank you again for being so patient. 1 second. All right, there we go. So I do see your question, Jax. Give me 1 second and then I'll answer it. So overall for CPG, you guys can see that there's normally a support right around $7. This is normally like a good buy, good deal range, right? I keep saying good buy range. That's not true. It's a good deal range, right? Normally where it bounces at anywhere from $6.50 to $7 based on previous patterns. And normally, again, being very conservative, $8 is a common resistance. Sometimes it does go up to almost highs of $9 if you want to be a little bit riskier. All power to you. That's not something that I personally do myself, but it's showing signs of a reversal, showing signs of it, making higher highs, pulling back, not going as low as it was before, so almost signs of an ascending uptrend pattern. One thing that I want to watch out for that we talked about multiple times last time I was doing this was it was getting rejected by this SMA line, so watch out for potential pullbacks. As you can see, based on previous patterns, it gets rejected right around this area. So as it's pushing up, yes, I understand that it makes sense that it's a good buy here, but as you're approaching, like let's say 760 or wherever the SMA line indicator might be, and this happens to a lot of stocks that you might trade, that the SMA line might act as a resistance, so where it gets rejected once it gets close to it. And then if it breaks above it, then many times it could act as a support. So again, old support levels can become new resistance levels, and old resistance levels can become new support levels. Make sure that you repeat that like 10 times and that sticks to your head so you don't forget about it. So I definitely do see a lot of value in this pending reversal, and I'm going to add it to my, oh, I already have it. Ha, I got it. Thank you again, Michael. I've spoken to you before, so thank you again for the friendly reminder. And I'm going to set my alert for if it pulls back below 720, then I'll be alerted just to make sure that there's a breaking pattern there. And then right now it's sitting right around 735. So I'm going to set an alert for the break above 740. I'd like to follow up with this one. And if it's actively trending up, especially intraday, so 1 day, 1 minute chart, if it's trending in between the middle and top VWAP, then I could always visit the idea of day trading it. But again, I'm trying to focus on quality trades and more short-term swing trades for this upcoming week. So we'll wait on for that. All right. Let's see. So this is by Lux. Okay, actually, did not forget your question. Let me just go back real quick. So pretty much there's a question that was asked right now that said, where is it? Okay, well, I remember your question. He pretty much asked that he's new, right? He's in high school. He's just getting started. I would speak to your parents, see if they can open up a custodial account that's with paper trading and simulation trading. I have a video on it, so I'd encourage you to start learning from YouTube if you don't want to invest in any courses or anything like that. So if you want to just focus and learn from YouTube, you are going to be making mistakes. I would focus on then opening up a paper trading account. Get started with that. For a playlist, I have a helpful video playlist within my YouTube channel, and I also have on my Instagram, the link is down below. It's a little start here bubble. I cover like 4 videos there that talk to you about the very basics on how to set up your paper trading, how to set up your TD Ameritrade, how to make your first $1,000, and then showing you me, make a little bit over $1,600 in 1 day and stuff like that. So kind of just a little bit more structure, and then there's like a little incentive at the end of that for you. So thank you again for that question. All right. So I'm going to break this one down. So the reason I'm going to break this one down is I personally do not, actually no, Tiva is not a bad one. We actually talked about Tiva quite a while ago when it was like around $10. Yeah, oh wow, that was a while ago. And it's definitely pushed up. Easiest way that I can talk about this one is Tiva has been actively trending up. When it becomes a little bit more of an ascending uptrend pattern, and it's very difficult to identify pullbacks and stuff like that. It's not even difficult to just, as of right now, it is selling off. I would find it to be a better buy when it's closer to the SMA indicator. It's showing signs of an ascending uptrend pattern, and that's great, right? You can definitely identify that with that. I think it has a little bit more margin for a sell-off. I don't find it to be a good deal, and because of that, I wouldn't feel comfortable swing trading it just because it has a lot of margin to sell off if any news were to come out. So because of that, I would personally stay away. I'm not a huge fan of pharmaceutical companies, but I know within the past 180 days, and you guys can go, yeah, I know you guys won't, but we used to talk about Tiva a lot when it was selling off and waiting for their overall reversal, but I'm super happy to see that it's pushed up so aggressively. This is actually one of Justin's and Harley's favorite stock to talk about. I don't know why, but they would always just talk about it, so thank you again for bringing it up. I think there was a call out for ticker symbol Z. So Z showing signs of almost an ascending uptrend pattern. How do I know that? SMA line is going up, right? It continues to make higher highs, and when it pulls back, it doesn't usually go as low as it was before. So because of that, it's selling off right now. It's approaching a potential support right around the SMA indicator. That's great. Let's wait for the confirmation. Do I think that this is going to be the best pick for this week? Probably not, because it's not showing any indication of a reversal just yet. So one thing that I would like to wait out for is for it to stop making lower lows, for it to consolidate, break above the EMA line, and actually start breaking resistance levels and start making higher highs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my alert and wait for the break above that. I'm also going to set my alert if it continues to sell off as it approaches the SMA line. So MACD indicator looks good, RSI looks good, but just no confirmation of a reversal. So let's be patient and let's make sure that we focus on waiting for the candles to break above the EMA indicator. So I'm not too sure. I would look into all the different kind of simulation trading platforms outside of the US. I know that there are some outside of the US that are free. Please just utilize Google, utilize YouTube, do your own due diligence. Don't give away personal information, right? Before you fully understand what it is that you're getting yourself into. You guys are smart people. Just Google it and figure it out. Okay, James Taylor, thank you again for tuning in, bud. So CHK. Very easy for me to break this one down, James. I like the call out. I like that you're focusing on something that's actively trending up. It's been actively and aggressively moving up. That's great. I find it to be more on the overbought side. You guys can see by the RSI indicator there. I don't find it to be a good deal, and the reason why is because, again, it has a lot more margin to sell off than margin to cover. So because of that, due to my trading style, it just doesn't meet my criteria, right? I know that it can potentially continue to uptrend, and that's great. It's just not something that I personally see value in. But if you do, great. I would focus on making sure that it doesn't continue. If it starts making lower lows, which it hasn't done before, right? It continues to make higher lows. So every time that it pulls back, it goes higher than it was before, and it makes higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. It would make sense for a higher low. If it starts making lower lows, that's a proper indication for a potential reversal. And also you could see that it used to push up very aggressively, and now it's almost kind of not pushing up as aggressively. So, and you can see that by the MACD indicators that the pushes have been much more like less aggressive. So it's almost like kind of like running out of like momentum, right? So almost expect a pullback. You can also see my volume bars right here and see how much more volume it had before, and the volume and the demand is pretty much done out. So proper indication of maybe why it's not the best deal. So that's just my 2 cents. All power to you though. So Ben, what's going on? Oh, Simon, thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see. So, hey Ricky, what would you suggest for someone who may not have so much time to put into day trading? And if you have a video, this can go ahead. Okay. So I have videos talking about swing trading. So swing trading. I would explore a little bit more about what swing trading is. The really cool thing about swing trading is that you don't have to day trade every single day. So that means buying and selling every single day. You can take a position and sell it a couple days later. And I do a lot of short-term swing trading, and that's actually something that we're going to do for the stock market growth plan. And you guys can ask the people that are part of Learn Plan Profit, probably 60 to 80% of our, no, 60 to 70% of our Learn Plan Profit members, a couple thousand of them have their own careers, are full-time students, have full-time jobs, and don't have the ability to day trade. And that's why our course for Learn Plan Profit is so well structured for short-term swing trading, to focus on getting good deals, to understand good buy points, good sell points, so you can set alerts, take positions, sell a couple later or a couple days later, and it accommodates more of a relaxed lifestyle. You don't have to be behind a computer all day. The reason I'm behind a computer all day is because I have to respond to everyone's questions. But yeah, I would explore that slower moving kind of, so if you're someone that is very busy and preoccupied and wants a little bit more time and focus more on like consistent growth, then I think that would be an amazing avenue for you to explore. Yep, I'm super pumped. Me too. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and do, let's see, last people's is MRNS. I don't like that ticker. I just personally had a really bad experience with this one. So it's a pharmaceutical company. I'm not a huge fan of them. Very easy to identify that, again, based on previous patterns, it's more at a sell territory than buy territory for me. And because of that, I don't find it to be a good deal. If anything, if it sells off and it bounces or shows any indication of a bounce, I would wait for the SMA line. If you still want to focus on this and invest in it, what I would like, if I was to be with someone that would invest in it, is understand that, okay, $7.50 to $8 has been a previous resistance. It can try to make higher highs, as when it pulled back, it didn't go as low as before. Just be very careful for where the direction of the EMA line is at on this 188-day 4-hour chart. If it starts to show signs of a sell-off, I would quickly, cut losses. The reason why is because then it would start making lower highs, which is signs of a sell-off. So yeah. ECYT, what's going on? We used to talk about this one all the time. Holy moly. Yeah, we used to trade this one when it was at $1. My goodness. It's crazy to I don't trade any of these anymore. But really quick, you guys can see that it's more at a resistance at around 15. Again, it was aggressively pushing up, a lot of volume, right? The volume looks like it has died. It almost looks like it was being manipulated. It's reaching a peak formation, so resistance right around $15. It's doing a lot of consolidation, and I do see that. And it's holding above the SMA indicator, so it's doing a lot of consolidation like this. Yes, it does make sense. It's just a little bit, it has more margin to sell off than to cover for profit. So because of that, I personally wouldn't trade it. But if anything, just make sure that it doesn't break its pattern, that it doesn't start making lower lows. As of right now, it's making higher lows, and it usually peaks out at around $15. So I would wait for the break above the EMA line, sell at around 15, and if there's a break of pattern, then I would, sell off. So why is everyone bailing? So BKCC. Okay, so this one is showing signs of a descending pattern. So on this 1 year, 1 day chart, you can see that it's showing signs of a sell-off. And I don't know anything about this company, right? But one thing that I can see is that, again, it's not a good deal. It's showing signs of a sell-off, downward pattern, no signs of a reversal, right? And it definitely has a little bit more margin to sell off. And looking at the 1 year analysis, it makes sense on why this range right around the SMA line, based on previous patterns, is a resistance, and why it sells off. So based on this, when it got rejected and how much it sold off, and to see how much more margin it has to sell off, it's making lower lows now. And it got rejected at a price point that it's been rejected before. So I would personally, if it bounces, great, let's wait for the reversal. But as of right now, it's still showing signs of a sell-off. So I would personally, not invest in this. And if it confirms an uptrend, then great, you could always revisit the idea of, reinvesting in it. So yeah. All right, RTRX. I like that ultrasounds. Ultrasounds, I didn't catch your name. All right. As you can see, we've actually talked about this one before. So it's more of an ascending uptrend pattern. It's showing signs of a support right around the SMA line. As of right now, okay, the MACD indicator looks good. The RSI looks a little high, almost like it could pull back a little bit. So what I'm going to keep a very close eye out for is for the direction of the EMA line. Right now the candles are above the EMA line. I would wait a little bit more for a pullback, and if it pulls back, to make sure that it holds above it. And as it continues to push up, kind of like this, right? As it pushed up, it made higher highs, pulled back, held above the EMA line, pushed up, pushed up, pushed up, hit a resistance, and then continued to uptrend. That's kind of what we would like to see. The resistance that I would call out would be right around $28 to $29. And yeah, so I like the ascending uptrend pattern. We've talked about this one multiple times before. Why was I not a huge fan of this one? It might be due to the low volume, but it's not too low. And watch out, go through the series of different time frames and see if there's a series of indicators that might act as a resistance. I know that's something that we cover in the Learn Plan Profit group, but I just want to make sure that I explain this in this video as well. So Ricky, why don't you trade Forex? I don't, because I do just fine by investing in the stock market. Yeah, so people always like to ask that question. I just don't. It's like, why don't you trade cryptocurrencies? Or you might, right? You might be a crypto wizard. What's going on, Mark Hall? What's up? What's up? Hope you're having a good weekend, brother. I saw your profits last week. I think it was last week or the week prior. Huge. CENX. Showing signs of a downward pattern, getting rejected by the SMA line. Not the best deal right now. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 more callouts just because the good ones are no longer being. Okay, it's still showing signs of a sell-off. Yes, it is at around a support around $38 based on previous patterns. No signs of an uptrend pattern or anything like that. Resistance right around $42 based on previous patterns, or around 44. I wouldn't see this to be the best. So I like the ascending uptrend pattern, but the overall way, like it's not aggressively pushing up anymore. And it's not confirming an uptrend, so this wouldn't be my #1 call out for this week. So we can set the alerts and be reminded when it starts to push up. Okay, so ADBE, so this is Adobe Systems, just recently sold off, right? You can see why it sold off. It was a little bit more on the overbought side, right? Sold off, is approaching the SMA line, which normally acts as a support. I actually really like this one. I think I have this one, yeah, in my pending reversals, right? Yeah. Okay, perfect. So it's showing signs of a potential reversal. It's around the SMA line. You can see that based on previous patterns, it's done this multiple times. So this is how we trade ascending uptrend patterns. This is how I trade ascending uptrend patterns. It doesn't mean that this is how you have to trade it. Again, I'm going to set an alert for it. It's showing signs of a potential reversal right now. I wanted to break the resistance and start making higher highs. So what I'll do is I'll set my alert at the break above 245. So great call out, and thanks again for the friendly reminder. Slider. LMT. Aggressive downward pattern. It's not showing any signs of a reversal, so I would personally stay away. Okay, same thing, SMA line, potential support, potential reversal, no confirmation just yet. Set the alert for the reversal, and then overall previous resistance is more around this area. It's looking a little bit more overbought. The MACD looks good for potential reversal. RSI looks decent. Let's just set those alerts and wait for that overall reversal. So I appreciate that, but again, so it says, Ricky, you should have a separate monthly membership to watch you trade for people that are not interested in LPP. So the whole point of it is for networking, abilities and opportunities. And it is just not something that I'm interested in as of right now. Maybe we could revisit it a little bit later if we see enough people just that see value in that. But what I really wanted to focus on was work with a good amount of traders and work with them on building their foundation and their understanding of the stock market, and then working with them on a daily basis. That's the whole point of our group, right? Maybe once everyone starts, once we see that our group is very well versed, then maybe trading live with a couple of our traders can be something that we explore. So thank you again for the suggestion. I actually like this Palo Alto Networks. So yeah, I'll add it to my. What was that ticker? Okay, I forgot how to brain fart. Great. Alrighty. Let's see. Oh, Pan W. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, I'm actually going to end the live stream there. I do have a little announcement that I'm going to make for all those that are waiting for the special. So for those that want to tune in and wait for the special, great. For those that don't and that are a little bit busy, thank you guys again for your time. I'm super pumped for this week. I know it was really excited, and then it kind of got a little bit monotone, but I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. And for all those that are just getting started, first of all, I want you guys to know that I have over 1,000 videos on YouTube that you're more than welcome to explore to become a little bit more well-versed with who it is that I am and what it is that I do. I upload videos every single day, usually twice a day, Monday through Friday. And I talk about my trades. I talk about, what it is that I see value in, kind of like our Sunday stock talks. You guys saw me talk about those two stocks. I recap every single day. I show my profits, I show my losses, and then yeah, that's pretty much what we do. I work very closely with my Learn Plan Profit group. That is the group that gets to watch me trade live and gets access to the Learn Plan Profit lesson library, which is just a little bit more of an efficient way of learning how to invest in the stock market. It's put together in a step-by-step process in the way that I wish I was taught. It doesn't mean that it's the best option for you. It just means that it's worked very well with our group, and it's a way that I see, I see structure to be very important. So you can go through all my videos. I have a little bit over 1,000 of videos on YouTube. On average, they're about 30 minutes long. But if you want to work in a more efficient way, then that's what the whole point of the Learn Plan Profit lesson library. I also want to let you know that when it comes down to Techbud Solutions, that's our free trading group. So if you just want to surround yourself with more motivated and like-minded individuals, if you're currently someone that's struggling to stay motivated, then again, that's why we created this free group. We're actually going to be releasing one of our free applications that's going to go with networking and networking with investors within your area. It's going to be a free application for everyone. But if you want to be able to be one of our beta testers, then I would encourage you to join Techbud Solutions. Again, it's free. It's the third link in the description. And once you get accepted, you guys can join our free Discord chat, which is on the top pinned post. You click the link and you join the Discord chat. So yeah, and this is the last thing that I wanted to say. So for all those that were waiting for a special, many of you guys, if you guys follow me on Instagram or are already part of our Discord chat, have already seen it. But we're hosting a giveaway. So until at least I think, when was the first day? I think actually I think it might end tonight. So we're doing $75 off the Learn, Plan, Profit lesson library. All you have to do is click the link down below. The welcome page already has the link that's going to be $75 off. The $75 off, if I'm not mistaken, is going to end today, and then tomorrow it's going to be $50 off. And then by entering or enrolling in Learn, Plan, Profit as of yesterday, or just with that $75 off, you are in the running to being one of our $1,000 giveaway winner. We're going to pick one individual who enrolls in the Learn, Plan, Profit lesson library. We'll be announcing the winner live the night of 4th of July. It will be uploaded on YouTube and for those that are part of Techbud Solutions. We're also going to be hosting another giveaway that I personally plan to announce a gift of kind of like a trader starter pack, so maybe like a computer and stuff like that, and maybe a couple $100 for those that are already enrolled in Learn, Plan, Profit, because I know a lot of those that already enrolled and can't partake in this giveaway. I want to make sure that I reward you as well for all your hard work. So then that's one that we'll do later on if you're already enrolled. So again, $75 off until the end of tonight. It's the first link down below. Please be sure to not just buy it on impulse. Please become more familiar with how I invest. And if you see value in it, great. I would love the ability to work with you on a daily basis. And then if not, I know that not everyone can purchase the course. That's why we have our free group, Techbud Solutions, and a bunch of free content online. I would really, really appreciate it. We've been getting a lot of amazing questions, but people asking if they can get the course for free. I have the videos for you for free. The reason that I charge for the course is because I work with this group daily, so it requires time. So I hope that you guys understand that, and that's why we created this, the free group and stuff like that. So again, giveaway, $1,000. Click the first link, enroll. $75 off until at the end of tonight, $50 off after tonight, right? Which is still an amazing deal. So $75 off will definitely be one of the biggest discounts that we offer this month. And yeah, that's really just it. So I really do appreciate everything that is that you guys do. Continue working hard, continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. And if there's absolutely anything that I can do to assist you, all I ask you to do is to be considerate of my time. You guys have been doing an amazing job messaging me via Discord. I've never spent so much time with my team to responding to these messages. We've had over, I think, 1,500 to 2,000 messages just on Discord. Not talking about Instagram, not talking about our emails, or not talking about the Facebook messages. Any trading questions, please message me via Discord. There is a playlist on my YouTube channel that shows you how to get connected to our Discord chat if you really need help with that. But again, please keep your direct messages under 150 characters and get straight to the point. I want to assist you, but just get straight to the point. Just because, again, I want to personally answer any of your questions, and I can't do that when you guys send me paragraphs in MLA format and stuff like that. So thank you guys again for everything it is that you guys do. Continue working hard, continue following your dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. And like always, guys, I'm super excited for this upcoming week. Let's remember that one of the best positions that you can take when it comes down to investing is not one at all, right? There's nothing wrong with locking in profits. No one goes broke by locking in profits. And like always, guys, let's continue working hard, continue following our dreams, let our passion be what drives us in our success. And if you guys can give the video a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. If not, I totally understand. And make someone smile today. Thank you guys again. Take care, team.